everybody, and welcome to the finals of the first annual Bump Bailey Wax Pack Hero Tournament of Awesome. I am one of your co-hosts, Jeff. Joining me, as always, is my intrepid co-host, Mark A. Johnston. Mark, how you doing?
Hey, just happy to be here as always. I'm so hungry for some sort of competition. I couldn't sleep last night.
Well, I'm glad you're excited. I think everybody's excited. This is what we've been working towards. We started with 8 teams. We have now whittled it down to the final 2. The buzz across the country, I know, has just been immense, especially on YouTube. But let's get right into it and introduce our 2 final contestants. Let's start first with they stormed through the first round, trashing Turnip Hair Baseball podcast. After a lot of trash talking, they came through. They laid waste, and then they advanced on past the Hanshin Tigers English News on a very close matchup. Let's welcome Patty and Potty Mouth, the No Crying in Baseball podcast. Welcome, ladies. How you doing?
Great. Happy to be here. Yay. Let's go, team.
In training all week, we'll have you know. Lifting cards, putting them back down. Yeah,
did you both carbo load last night?
We are and today a little sleepy, actually.
Yeah, I guess there are carbs in beer. So yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, welcome and congratulations. And now let's introduce your competition. And they likewise have been equally as impressive throughout this tournament. They started off by, I got to say, it wasn't close. Infield Fly Girl never had a chance because of one card, Bobby Bonilla. That's all I'm going to say. And then they advanced into the finals here by beating the Baseball Beyond Batting Average podcast, again with a very impressive showing with a lot of big money cards. Let's welcome the Ball Caps and Bagpipes podcast. And it's right now it's just Bubba. Hopefully John will join us shortly. But Bubba, congratulations and welcome.
Cheers for having us on. Hello from Scotland. It's kind of late night for us, but excited to be here.
Great. Well, we're very excited to have both of you here. You've both proven to be worthy competitors in watching us open packs of baseball cards. But hopefully this will be as exciting of a matchup as hopefully as close as the No Crying in Baseball versus Hanshin Tigers last round, because that was as exciting as wax pack cardboard based competition gets. I do like to start this out before we get into the baseball cards. I like to ask kind of a question about baseball and where kind of some of the things that everybody has in common here in the finals. So my question here for you guys today is, I'm going to assume that we've been to several baseball games in your life. I know, Bubba, despite the fact you're in Scotland, you grew up in the Pacific Northwest as a Mariner fan. I want to ask everybody, what is maybe not the best, but what is the one game, major league game or minor league game, that you were in person, that you attended in person, that sticks out in your mind? So let's start with the No Crying in Baseball podcast. Patty, the best game you've ever been to?
Wow. Until you said in person, does it count that for Game 7 of the World Series, I was in Nats Park watching on Jumbotron as the Nats won the World Series somewhere else?
I will absolutely allow it, as long as you don't refer to it as the Jumbotron. That is a Diamond Vision screen by Mitsubishi.
Watching on the Diamond Vision, watching on the big screen in the pouring rain for the whole first half of the game. And then people just filled in as the game went on. And it was just so unbelievably exciting. And somebody coming from Cleveland and all the years of we'll get them next year. And then all the near misses with the why can't the Nats get out of the damn first round of the playoffs and all this, and to have this happen and to be there with Potty Mouth. And, my best baseball friends, it was burst into tears, fantastic, and it felt like we were actually at the game.
We were soaking wet. We were in our ponchos, but we didn't give a shit. We were just screaming.
I remember when they would take shots, and I remember the rain, and I was like, that's awesome. There were so many people there and so into it. Potty Mouth, are you gonna name that as your game that stands out as well, or do you have something else?
The one that popped into my mind when you said that was the wild card game, because we were there for that. And actually, that was my first in-person playoff game. And that was at the point where we're all like, holy shit, the Nats have made it, this far. And we're here to enjoy a postseason game. And then when they came back from behind, and Juan Soto, who's my baseball boyfriend chosen on our podcast, was a key player in the 8th inning there, it was a blast. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And I'd never been in Nat Stadium with that kind of emotion also, because Patty and I have been season ticket holders for 2 years. And, on a typical day, it's like half full, especially like a weekday. And just to see it totally crammed and everybody so hanging on the game was super fun. Super fun.
That's awesome. I likewise got to my first A's playoff game this last year, but it was a quick one. We won't talk about that. Bubba, how about you? What's the game that you've been to that sticks out most in your mind?
Oh man, I went to saw a lot of bad Mariners games growing up.
Is there another kind?
I wish it would say something cool, like I went and saw the double, but no. I saw tons of Mariners games. They weren't very good. But the one game that stuck out is for my 40th, me and a couple friends out here in Scotland, we flew to Wrigley and we caught a game in the bleachers in Wrigley. And just having all my buddies out there, seeing the game for the first time for them, it was just enjoyable. And the bleachers was everything I was hoping it would be. That
is awesome. I finally got to Wrigley a couple of years ago, but I wasn't in the bleachers. That must have been a fun experience out there.
It was really funny. We had a blast. Like this guy heard the accent, immediately started chatting to us and bought us beers the rest of the day. I don't know how much money we talked on beer, but we had a great time because of it.
I'll tell you, I had a Chicago dog there because I was at Wrigley. I was not going to not have a Chicago dog. I'd never had one before. Oh my God, that was the best shit ever. I have loved Chicago dogs now. Those are my favorite kind of hot dogs.
So what's on a Chicago dog? We didn't get one. We went for the deep dish pizza.
There are peppers of some sort, I believe. I'm sure, again, this is the internet. If I'm wrong, somebody will definitely tell me. But there was, well, now I can't even remember what it was. There was some kind of, I want to say like bell peppers or something.
You can get that at Fenway. Just saying. They have grilled onions and peppers you can get on your dogs.
But let's look it up just so that we can.
Did they grill them there, or did they just? I remember having one when I was in Chicago. It was like a pepper that was not grilled. It's kind of weird.
So it's yellow mustard, chopped white onions, bright green sweet pickle relish, a pickle spear, tomato slice or wedges, and some sport peppers, and a little bit of celery salt.
Sport peppers.
You got to play with your food before you eat it.
But that was I think that's the best hot dog I've ever had at a park. I've had Dodger dogs. I've had the one in Cleveland with Fruit Loops and popcorn on it, and the Chicago dog was by far the best.
Did you have the one with tiny little pierogies on it at PNC Park? That's the best. That's my favorite dog.
Because I just load up on Permanente Brothers when I'm at PNC.
They have one in Tacoma in the minor league team that is peanut butter, bacon, and Cracker Jacks.
Oh, I ordered it.
Incredible.
The one Rainiers game, I tweeted it. Maybe I'll attach it. Yeah, I've got a picture.
It's like watching Chopped,
What do we got back here? Well, we got all this stuff. Somebody will buy this.
Throw the caramel corn on there. I don't know.
Oh, kids will buy it for sure, which is why I bought it, because I'm a big child.
Yummy.
Mark, what about you? Now, you have been to probably the most games out of anybody here. You were probably at the game with the double from Edgar. What is your best memory?
My best memory is the Pacific Coast League. Mine's a minor league one. The Pacific Coast League's been around for like 130 years, and I'm running one of the scoreboards, and this guy named John Halama decides to throw the first perfect game in the history of the Pacific Coast League.
Ooh.
And I got to run the scoreboard for it, and that was like so cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the funny thing is I had lost a bet a couple nights before, and I had to work the game in my underwear.
We need
Thankfully-
photographic evidence for that.
we do
Thankfully,
not.
it was before
Yes, we-
social media and camera phones.
They
thankfully.
were silver lame, pretty flashy. You know,
Nice.
that's a true
What if-
story.
What if it would have rained and you would have had to go down and pull the tarp for that game?
I didn't touch the tarp, man.
People's
your
eyes would have been
silver
burning
lame
from the
boxers.
shine. I don't know.
Yep.
All
Hey,
right.
can I add a corollary to my best moment there?
Go for it. Absolutely.
So, not the best game I was at, but the best baseball moment. I went to see the Nats in Cincinnati because I've got family there a couple years ago when they had a series over Memorial Day. And I had good seats because I didn't buy them. And I made eye contact with Dusty Baker. He was coming back to the dugout and I said, "Go get him, Dusty." And he looked right at me and gave me a, like one of those like
Finger guns?
finger guns. And I was like, "Oh my God, Dusty Baker met me in the eyes. I love him."
Was he chewing on that toothpick?
Always. That's in his bobblehead. His bobblehead has a toothpick in it.
And sweatbands?
See, that
All right.
reminds me of one of the worst, well, not the worst ones, but I went to a game I must have been about 9, and they were playing the Yankees because it was always around my birthday. And it was a foul ball out to right field. Dave Winfield picks it up, and I yelled for Dave to throw it up, and he threw it low, and I dropped the ball.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm so
Did
sorry.
someone else grab it?
I was trapped up against the wall in right field, and I was trying to pull it out, and it fell out, and he just threw it into the stands after that. But I always gutted about that. And when we saw him in London, I was trying to get his attention to see if he throw me another ball so I could catch it this time.
He's like, I remember you. No.
that's right.
You only get one
One
chance.
shot.
All right. Well, those are some good memories. That's fun to hear. Everybody's favorite baseball game, and that's a lot of fun. That will lead us into let's get into this game here. To do this, we are going to, as we have done in the past, we're going to spin the wheel to see what cards we're working with here for the grand finals. So if you notice on our list here, we've gone through tops. For some reason, this wheel likes to land on tops. The only tops packs we have left are the 1986. Beyond that, we've got pretty much a full range of Fleer and Donruss. So we're going to give this wheel a spin and see what we're working with here. So here we go. Again, I'm rooting for that 86 Fleer, but that means it won't happen. And
come
we get maybe the most boring visual pack, the 1988 Donruss. So
wasn't that what you were joking about before the show? Like, if you get that one,
a little behind the curtains scene. I actually
Yep.
said maybe should we just pick the pack so that we don't get the 88 Donruss. But
Hey, you got to watch for that Greg Jeffries, man.
yeah, Greg. All right, so let me pull out some 88 Donruss here. I will.
Well, the score is going to be like a pitching duel game.
Yeah, it could be. It could be a little bit. Could be a pitcher's duel. Could be a defensive struggle. So there they are. Our 2 packs of Donruss from 1988. Now I'm going to. I keep forgetting to go over the rules here because I get so excited to open this pack and ask the trivia question. But before we do anything, before we decide who's going to go first, who is going to get what pack, let's go over the rules. So. Underneath it here, I've got a Beckett Baseball Card Monthly from May 1992 with Mr. Steve Avery on the cover. This will give our cards some value versus using a current Beckett's. We've got a couple of extra rules. One, if you are wearing real stirrups and we can see them, you get an extra cent. If you're not wearing real stirrups and you're wearing the dreaded 2-in-1s, you get a -1 cent. Probably won't come into play in with the 88 pack here. One of the other rules is a mustache. And no matter what Trevor from the Hanshin Tigers English News says, we are pretty liberal here with facial hair. If you are sporting a mustache or just a heavy, like a 6 o'clock shadow, maybe not a 5, but a 6 o'clock shadow, you're going to get an extra cent. And then if you're a Hall of Famer, you get an extra 5 cents. So that is how we will score it. What we're going to do now, though, is we have got to determine who gets which pack. And this is the only part of this entire game that either of our contestants have any say over. And so I've got a trivia question that I'm going to ask here. And whoever comes closest to the answer is going to get to pick which pack they want. So no crying in baseball. You have got two people here. I'm going to let you answer this question first, and then we will give Bubba the chance to essentially say higher or lower on this question. So are you two ready?
Sure, ready as it will ever be.
All right. So I told you I held this question out for the finals. Nothing says finals more to me than Rickey Henderson, my favorite player of all time.
We are
So-
shocked. Absolutely shocked with this one.
My question for you is Rickey Henderson, obviously his number 24 has been retired by the Oakland Athletics. Pretty well known that Rickey Henderson wore 24 through a majority of his career. My question for you is if you take every other number that he wore along with the number 24 and added them all up, what would the total number be?
Jeff,
Holy
does this
shit.
violate the podcast rules on mathematics?
A little bit.
I'm just trying to play judge from a distance. I don't know.
He is totally our math person on our show. So
Oh, sure. I math if I have
Right.
any information to work with.
Right, you need a little bit of data.
But apparently Google is off limits.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're keeping it. So I'll give you this. You know, Rickey wore 24 most of his career. When he first came up with the A's, he wore 35 for a majority of the time before he was traded to the Yankees. Because he played for so many teams, some of those teams had gentlemen that were wearing the number 24 that weren't prepared to give it up. Or on some of those teams, that number had been retired and he had to use other numbers. So
many teams. So I think that's part of it, Patty, part of
Yeah.
our equation.
All right,
but
Potty
the
Mouth.
question is, how many 24s were there?
no,
I don't think
so,
it's-
so 24, you only get to use 24 once. You only get to use
Right.
35 once. So right there, I'm not going to do the math because I'm an idiot. There's one number. Plus, you got to add all the other unique numbers that he ever wore as an athletic.
Wait, as an athletic?
Oh,
Or
no,
as a
not as
baseball
an
player?
athletic, as a baseball player through his
Wow,
career.
because that would have been really easy. It said,
Well,
like, if that were the question after all the buildup, then would be golden.
Potty Mouth, I'm feeling 87 based on absolutely nothing. Do you want to up
All right.
that?
Yeah, I mean, we did pull the 88 cards, so we might, do that as just like a cosmic reflection. I'm thinking it might be a little higher. But I don't know. Maybe he did get to keep 24 on a couple of the teams. I have no clue. So, yeah.
So we
Let's-
go to
let's-
88, so it's cosmic?
Let's go cosmic 88.
All
And
right.
plus, that's Baby Shark.
That's true. So
All right.
based on nothing, not even math, we're going with 88.
and that's just kind of a dagger in my heart as an A's fan that you would choose 88.
Oh,
Ooh,
the world. Oh, sorry. Well, it's that you gave it to us, man. Like,
I'm wearing my A's shirt. Does that make up for anything? It's the only A's shirt I
you
own.
got the Eric Sogard nerd power shirt, so we'll give you that. Okay.
All
You
right.
may as well have brought up what's his name?
Bill
McDonough.
Buckner. Right. I'm loaded with my Buckner facts tonight, just in case.
All right.
Yeah, we got to be careful stepping on each other's toes here. We got a sensitive group.
Very sensitive.
Oh, totally.
All right, Bubba. So it is your choice here. This essentially turns into a high-low game. They have chosen 88. What do you think the total number of unique numbers Rickey Henderson ever wore in his Major League Baseball career? Do you think it is higher or lower than 88?
Since you didn't like 88, I think you like 89.
Well, I did like 89 a lot, but I didn't like 90. Not at all.
Fair enough. So yeah, we'll go with 89 because I think it's a higher number than it is.
All right. So the actual number is 159.
Ooh.
Wow.
So Rickey, when he came up, originally wore 39 for just a hot minute. Then he turned to 35. First wore 24 when he was with the Yankees. When he came back to Oakland, Ron Hassey was wearing 24. So he wore 22 for about a week. Some other
Oh.
unique numbers, he wore 14 because Turner Ward was wearing 24 when he got traded to the Blue Jays. And he wore 35 for the Mariners because somebody named Griffey wore 24 for the Mariners.
God damn that Griffey. Jeez.
Then he wore 35 when he was on the Red Sox.
I was going to ask on that.
And I don't know, because is Dwight Evans, that's who wore 24 that I remember for the Red Sox. Is that retired, or was it just somebody else had 24?
I don't know. I wish I knew. No clue.
And then 25 when he was on the Dodgers.
It wouldn't have been retired that soon, though, if it is. Do you think?
Well, yeah, Dewey Evans. I mean, Ricky was on the Red Sox in, when was it? It was 2002.
Okay.
So Dewey Evans had long retired since then. But there you go. So we have got our winner is Bubba. So you are going to get to choose which of these packs do you want to own. Do you want the one on the left or on the right?
I'm going to go with the one on the right. I'm going to go with the streak and taking the one on the right the rest of the time. So I'm feeling it.
All right. So
I feel like we won that.
Yeah, because we would have picked the left, and that's our streak. We've won with 2 left. So.
All right. Well, then you do get a choice here. No Crying in Baseball. You can choose to either open your pack first, or we can open Bubba's pack first.
You pick Potty Mouth.
So I feel really torn because I've always wanted to go second, but we've gone first both times, haven't we?
On you.
Crap. Let's go first. I guess
Right.
It doesn't matter because it's the same.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So
it really does not matter.
It doesn't matter. So let's go with tradition. Let's go first, and then we can just sit back and drink.
All
I
right.
got
So
to be really close because we've gone right every time, and we've let everyone go first. So we're playing the strengths here.
This is
Interesting.
It's a real
this may
smackdown.
be the official decision of what is better, left or right. I think of all
true.
time. This could be the tiebreaker. We'll
All
know
right.
today what's better.
So let's first just look at our Beckett's here and see some of the 1988 Donrusses. There is a Roberto Alomar card in here. It's a rookie card. It's worth $1.75 at this point.
Yes,
there's
please.
a manager of the Kia Tigers in the KBO, Matt Williams, has got a rookie card in here worth 80 cents.
We really should get that one.
There's a Ron Gant rookie card worth $1.75 as well. So there's not a whole lot of like big money cards here, but there are a couple. So, we could have that Bobby Bonilla moment. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So we are going to start with the No Crying in Baseball pack is right here. I've made sure to leave it on camera so that they don't.
Hey, Jeff, can we do an
Accuse
over-under?
you of cheating?
Yes.
Let's do an over-under.
Over under on what the value will be.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm saying 55 cents. 55 and a half because it has to be a half.
All right. Well, I'm going to go a little bit lower than this is an 88 Donruss. So,
All right. There. Now we got something down on it.
all right. So here's your Stan Musial puzzle piece. That is obviously not worth anything, but all right. So here we go. Now, will we get a red sock? Because there is never a red sock in a No Crying pack. But let's take a look here. This is a Brave. Unfortunately, it is not the one with the boa constrictor around his neck, but it is Glenn Hubbard for the Atlanta Braves here. Glenn Hubbard also was on the. I think he was on the 88 and the 89 A's team that won the World Series. I'm not sure. He was on one of
It
those.
looks like he has a mustache, right? That's
Pretty
not
sure
a
he
shadow.
does,
That's
yeah.
a mustache.
Pretty
Yeah,
sure
we
he
got at least
does.
two there.
Facial hair guy.
Mustache and definitely got those real stirrups on. I'm going to guess that might be it for that one.
Couple
Yep.
cents.
Yep. So not bad. Start off with 2 cents. You've had
Not bad for 88 Donruss.
slower starts. Next, one of my favorite players here from Kingston, Jamaica, Mr. Chili Davis, man.
Oh, yeah.
Looks kind of like Jeffrey Leonard here with the mustache, but that is Chili Davis. Definitely, you're going to get a cent for the mustache. Again, I'm going to guess that's probably going to be it. Yep, just 1 cent.
Yeah, it's that implied stirrup thing again.
Oh, I guarantee you he was wearing real stirrups, but yeah, you got to be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, this is
Chili
this is
Davis.
one of Mark and I's favorite catchers of all time. A catcher not named Pudge.
That really narrows it down.
Although he could have been.
Yeah.
But his nickname is Spanky, which is equally as good. It is
That
Mike
is a great
LaValliere.
nickname.
The
Oh,
legend, Mike LaValliere.
Yeah, so Mike has got a mustache as always. Now I can definitely see some in his leg that's kind of hidden by the logo there. I can definitely see that he's got real stirrups on.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried there for a minute because in '88 I don't think people are wearing them. But so that'll get you, I'm guessing, 2 cents. Yep.
Hey, Bubba.
Low
Bubba,
and
you can
steady
call
wins
for a
the race.
replay on that if you want.
Well, I can see it out here barely. The right foot definitely. You couldn't tell, but left foot, yeah, I'm on it.
All right.
Yeah, I can.
I mean,
see
well, there's
it.
that challenge.
You did not.
Yeah,
You did not use your challenge. I did.
Now I do want to look. Now I'm a little worried here because if you look at the numbers of these cards, it has gone 312, 313, 314. So
Somebody didn't shuffle.
I always comment. Let's see if we can get that camera to focus again. I always question on these cards, these wax packs, that I've got on eBay, if somebody's actually opened them and gone through them and pulled out all of the good cards. Right now, it looks like somebody just put their set in here and just put them in order.
Yeah, they got lazy.
I don't
Okay,
think
well,
any
this
of them
one-
actually played on the Red Sox, but Chili Davis was a coach, but no
he's
players.
a batting coach. Yeah, they stole him away from the A's, I believe, as a batting coach. All right, here we go with the Reds outfielder Tracy Jones. Now, I'm afraid that Tracy's probably
No
not going to
clue.
get you anything.
No,
Yeah, I don't remember
he's got a
Tracy.
sad look on his face too.
It's hard. It's not in this.
He was like
Yeah.
a fifth outfielder. That's why
Yeah, it
he's
looks
sad.
like sunburn issues with the sunglasses.
He looks more like a 6th or 7th outfielder to me.
Yeah.
But he's card number 310, so it's not in numerical order, but still right in that range. But
Pretty
yes,
close.
no value there. This guy couldn't be more clean shaven if he tried, unfortunately. Pitcher
Who's
for the
it?
Padres, Greg Booker.
This is getting rough.
Got enough eyebrow though. If he
No
could
clue.
redistribute that, we'd be all right.
Well, okay, and now here 310, he's 311.
Somebody
So
put
we
it
man.
on
just
bed.
kind of put these
Yeah.
in order.
Are we playing poker? I mean, we have a thing going if we're playing poker, though.
Oh, you have got a
Embarrassing.
straight Bruin. But well, let's see if this continues. There is a Ken Caminiti rookie card at 308 that'll get you some money. So let's see how that works out. But no value there. Next, I love this guy, Dutch Darren Dalton.
Too many
Catcher.
clean shaven guys.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
Yeah,
He
but
was-
Dutch.
he was usually not clean shaven. This is a rarity here. He usually had like a 6 o'clock shadow going on, but
Plus some serious flow that comes
Was that 309? Did I see 309?
Yeah, you saw 309.
Oh, could we be getting closer?
Okay, now okay. Yeah, these are. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even need to pull. Oh no, there is a couple that go out of sequential order. Well, there's
no.
one. I fear this card. This pack has been tampered with, but it is good news for you because next in line here is Mr. Ken Caminiti,
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
as I mentioned.
there's
so.
the big bucks.
It's our 308.
Well, let's not go. Let's not call it big bucks yet. He definitely has stirrups, but that is worth 8 cents for the Kennedy rookie card.
wow.
8 cents plus 1 cent for the stirrups. That is a 9-cent card. But yeah, this is just straight in order. Which
That's
I
a
don't.
comparative big bucks.
Yeah.
That's true.
According to this pack, that is a pretty big card.
He's a former
this deck-
MVP, and he only got 8 cents.
Well, he had not been MVP at this point.
But can't these people tell?
No. Well, this is his rookie card. So,
So, no, I guess. But
all right. So this card will also, because I looked ahead in Beckett's, this card will also net you a couple of cents. It'll also net you 2 extra cents for being having a mustache and having real stirrups. His nickname was E.T. Willie McGee.
Oh,
right.
because he looked like him, not because he had an extra testicle.
No, it's the
Not that ET.
because he is
I
a little
wasn't aware of
alien
that.
looking. So that card's worth 2 cents plus the 2 cents for the mustache and the stirrups. So that's a 4-cent card. That'll bump you up. My under is looking very good right now.
It
on my
sure
site,
is.
Just a
Mark.
little.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy's looking out for you. A pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. It is Bill Long.
All right, Bill.
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, he's got the mustache, but that's about it. But I'm not even looking these up because I know exactly in what order these go.
Well, I'm sure Bill was excited to get his own card, though.
Yeah, let's see. At this point,
Doesn't look excited.
at this point, he had played. He had another, at least 2 seasons under his belt. One was his rookie year, where he only played in 4 games. But William D. Long. Now that's
William.
weird. That's weird that they just put his middle initial,
Willie D.
Willie D. All right.
Somebody else
Next.
had the D spelled out just a couple cards ago.
I think that was Glenn. Glenn D. Hubbard. Yep. D, also the sassy sister from What's Happening.
From What's Happening. Yeah.
Right. Oh, nice pull. Nice pull.
Now, this one, I can guarantee you, Mark will have some input on this gentleman. Longtime catcher here for the California Angels, Bob Boone.
Oh, Bob, what a great guy. I got to work with him for 2 years, and he's a neat guy. He commands a lot of respect from the other players.
Of course, the patriarch of the Boone family.
Yeah.
Aaron Boone. How am I forgetting the other Boone? Aaron's brother, Brett Boone. Yeah. Mariner.
Yeah, I'm okay with forgetting about the Boons. That's all right. We can move on.
I saw Bob recently, and he totally pretended to remember me. It was awesome.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
We had a nickname in Atlanta for when Brett was with the Braves. It was Lady's Butt because we sat right behind home plate where we worked, and my coworker, who is female, said that he had the butt of a woman. So I had to look at Brett Boone's butt after that. That card, unfortunately, not worth anything. Now I'll give you a clue here. This guy is one of those few players that never played in the minor leagues, went directly after he was drafted into the majors. Any clue? This is before John Olerud. This
Do I get a guess?
is, yeah, go ahead. I think you'll know this. We've talked about him many times.
Peter Gavilia.
There you go. The name that Harry Carey could not pronounce. One of them that he could not pronounce to save his life. But definitely got a beard and a mustache there for Pete.
Is he worth something?
Unfortunately, not
For all those
what he's
extra
worth.
characters in his name.
He's worth the 1 cent for, as Carey would call
Yes.
him, Pete Incaviglia. But there you go. Got a rated rookie card coming
All
up.
right.
Big here. This guy. Oh, I loved this guy. Never. I remember this card, but he never did anything. Joey Meyer from the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep, I remember. There were good expectations of Mr. Meyer.
He looks like he's got a big, broad back here, but I'm pretty
Like
sure.
a monster, actually.
Let's see. So that's a rarity. Usually, these rookie cards are worth at least something, a couple cents, but not in
no.
this. Not in this case. Just the 1 cent for the 1 cent
rookie
for the
cred.
mustache. Next, this is a guy that I gave Mark his nickname a while back, and he did not know who this was. If I said his nickname is Speaker of the House, does anybody know who that is?
No, I'm drawing a blank here.
Nope.
No,
got nothing.
I'm guessing Nancy Pelosi wasn't speaking. Wasn't. Tip
No.
O'Neill would have been that era, right?
It's one in between.
It might have been this actual guy from the state of Washington, Tom Foley.
Ah.
That rings a bell now.
Yep.
So he, along with Jerry Brown, who's nicknamed the Governor,
The
after
governor. Yep.
Governor of the state of California. But here we've got, I did not realize that Tom Foley warranted, I cannot get the camera to focus today. I did not realize that Tom Foley warranted his own Mims bands, with his picture on it right there. The sweatband with his caricature on it, but he apparently had one.
I had completely forgotten about Mims bands, and I had another guy do a Wax Pack Wednesday with me, and he mentioned those, and then next thing I know, Mims was following me. I was like, all right, that takes me back.
Yeah,
Wow.
they follow us too because I started asking them questions. They have a full stock of all of those sweatbands still available for purchase. If you want them, the Daryl Strawberry, Tony Gwynn, all those guys.
Tom Foley.
Tom, yes, there's obviously must be a Tom Foley.
Apparently.
Probably more than most of the other ones, but yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So that card will get you 1 cent for the stirrups, but that is it.
Jeez.
Now, this card I'm interested to see. This is not his rookie card, but this is right in the heyday of one brother of Mr. Ozzy Canseco. It is Jose Canseco.
Oh, hey, that's got to be worth something, right? He's of course he has to be clean.
Does he know where he is? I'm not sure.
Does it what?
Does he know where he is? He got that "how did I get here" look on his face.
Well, it's either Bigfoot or extraterrestrials, right?
Yeah. Well, if you need to get a hold of him, you can just call his agent, Morgan. He posts his phone number on Twitter all the time. He was ranting the other day about dreams and controlling your dreams because he believes now, apparently, that if you die in your sleep, you live in your dream forever. So it's important to be able to control your dreams. He is also available. You can book him to play a round of golf. And he's got a car wash in Las Vegas if you need to get your car washed. He'll be happy to tell you about. But what I am happy to tell you about is the value of this card.
It's got to be something.
This card right here is worth 35 cents.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and we benefit from Bigfoot. Yeah.
So, again, this is not a math stream, but I believe that bumps you above Mark's total for the over-under.
Sorry, Jeff, but yay.
I believe that will move you up to 57 cents.
I'm feeling so much better right now.
Yeah,
That's a good card.
That's a good card right there.
That was a good bump, Bailey.
All right, next we've got former pitcher for the Royals, also former manager, pitching coach for the Angels under Mike Scioscia, and then manager for the San Diego Padres for a while. It's Bud Black.
Great mustache.
That is a good looking mustache there for Bud. Your card's still right in order.
What's his middle name? What was his middle name? It was another B. So he's BBB?
Ralston. No.
Oh, Harry, that's R. All right, that's
Harry
my bad.
Ralston
Harry.
Black.
Wow.
All right.
Nicknamed Bud.
Yeah, I'd go with Bud.
Yeah, understandable.
All right, so you get 1 cent there for the mustache. That brings you up to 58, and we come to your final card. And now this has got to be embarrassing for Donruss because the photo is out of focus. Member of the 88 Dodger team that won the World Series. Also, I believe a member of the 90 Cincinnati Reds team that beat the A's again in the World Series. It is Mickey Hatcher. Have glove, will travel. Mickey Hatcher.
But he's not going to get us anything, is he?
No, and I'm trying to change. I think I
was hoping we could round up to the 60. No. He's super shaven, no legs.
Yeah, and my camera has freaked out on me here, so I apologize.
Yeah, he's looking bright.
Yeah, let's.
I can't believe we're saved by Jose Canseco. Like of the irony. That's.
So I'm going to pause 1 minute here because I have got to get this camera.
And good news, you guys, there's no testing. So you don't have to worry about getting disqualified or suspended or anything like that.
All right, so we're back. As you can see, a little bit of a camera adjustment. I apologize for that. But yeah, so he is out of focus. No value on Mickey Hatcher there. But the Jose Canseco card, clearly the big card in this pack, which
more
really
than
helped.
half the worth.
Yeah, because you guys were really struggling there before.
That was rough.
Mr. Canseco.
Still no Red Sox. Unless you
Nope.
count Chile.
No. Well, Canseco was on the Red Sox as well for a little while. Let's see. Was there anybody else here that played at any point for the Red Sox? I don't think Willie McGee did, although for some reason that's sticking in my mind that he might have. Yeah, not no Red Sox, but the Canseco card. There's no use in even valuing anybody other than Jose in that card. So if we do end up in a tie by any chance, we will go by whichever pack has the highest value card. So right now that would be your guy right there, Jose. What if Jose wins this for you? That's just
poetic. We will tweet at him and see what he says.
All right, so there you go. There is your pack. 58 cents. Bubba, how you feeling? We head into your pack here.
Yeah, a bit nervous, with John not here and not knowing any of these players. He was kind of the good luck charm. So, but we've gone big each time. So let's do it one more time. Go big and go home.
Yeah, you've pulled a Jose Canseco essentially every time. So let's see how you do here.
Is that going to be our new metaphor? Pulling a Canseco.
Pulling a Canseco.
It used to mean something else. I don't want to get into it.
In our first round, it was pulling a nun. So this is just getting weirder.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now that I'm looking at your cards. I'm just looking at the back at the numbers, and they just definitely go in numeric order except for one or two once again. So I don't know if this was a Donruss thing or what, but you get a nice smiling face of Stan Musial right there. All right, so Here we go. We're going to start off. This is a father who has a son that has played recently in Major League Baseball, and you will at least get 2 cents for the mustache and the stirrups. It's Jerry Hairston.
Sure.
All right, yeah, we'll take it.
Let me guess, was the son named Jerry Hairston?
Junior, absolutely. You got it. Did he ever play? Did he play for the Nats at any point?
Might have. I mean, I know that it's a very familiar name.
I think I remember him on the Padres, his son, but I couldn't tell you exactly who he played for. But that's 2 cents, the exact same start that that we started off Crying in Baseball pack. All right, now we jump into a rated rookie. So we never know how these are going to. And now if we were actually valuing this card is cut off center. So it would be minus a little bit, but we're not doing that. It is a rated rookie pitcher for the Dodgers, Sean Hilgis.
I remember him. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be worth much.
I remember the name as well. But these rookie cards sometimes will have a value, but this one does not. So that is very similar to the rated rookie we got in the first pack. Worth nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Hey, Jeff, just a note. Let's put a thumbtack in it. Maybe we have a guy from PSA here rating the cards next time.
We'll step it up, definitely. Next, we've got this is apropos for Bubba and Mark, outfielder for the Mariners, Phil Bradley, who I believe it's his birthday today. The day we're recording this.
The fact that you know that is bothering me.
Did you know that beforehand or by looking at the card?
March 11th.
You were close.
There is a Bradley that is born today, and I saw it on Twitter, and that is the reason that I say that. But how cool would that have been if I could have pulled that out of Phil Bradley and knew when his birthday was?
What if it was Scott Bradley? This is another Mariner for you.
There you go.
I am not sure who it was today, but that card is going to net you 1 cent because of the sweet stash.
I'll take it. It's been nickel and diamond.
Yep, you got it. Well, you got to wait for the one card in this set. Next, we got first baseman for the Texas Rangers. It is Pete O'Brien.
Yep, I think we traded for him next year. I think he played for the Mariners in '89.
We signed him to some ridiculous contract, and he did absolutely nothing.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm sure it worked out well.
It was a big deal because it was the Mariners' first big signing. For us, Pete was big.
He was good, yeah.
He was just Richie Sexson a couple of years ahead, a decade ahead.
I remember yelling out to him at one point, "They're not booing, they're just yelling, Pete." That make him feel better.
I'm sure he appreciated that. So that card is not worth anything, unfortunately. No mustache, no stirrups, no value.
It was worth nothing for the Mariners too.
So
That
next,
tracks.
we get my second favorite player from Kingston, Jamaica. Chili Davis is my first. My second is Devo, Devon White.
Oh man, I love Devon White.
Yeah, that guy was solid major leaguer right there. He played forever.
Everything. Yep,
Yeah, he was solid in the outfield, man. He caught everything out that way.
he did. And he
So
could hit
that-
a little too.
That card is worth 4 cents. He's always got that mustache and he's got real stirrups. So that is a 6-cent card for you.
Oof. You're on a roll.
Where
Yeah,
we're
that-
getting there.
Approaching double digits.
All right. This is one of my favorite players. When I was with the Braves, I loved when this guy was on the team. During his career, beat cancer. A Montreal Expo is kind of who I always think of him as, the big cat, Andres Galarraga.
Nice.
Oh, he was just in the news for contesting something.
I hope it was good.
Yeah, I'm spacing it.
So Andres Galarraga is unfortunately not worth anything. He does have the real stirrups there.
Yep,
And
okay.
no mustache. But boy, I loved him. He's like he was always so nice when he was with the Braves. I'm going to assume he was with every team he was on, but he was always one of those gregarious guys. He always was smiling. And I really liked watching him play. This guy definitely had some pop for the A's in the mid 80s. Outfielder Mike Davis.
Man, look at those arms. He was ripped.
Yeah, he had a big bat.
Davis was a good player.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mark might have remembered him from his
Yep.
days in Tacoma. So that card is probably not worth anything. It is not. He does have a mustache. In the future, I think we're gonna add a penny for the science teacher glasses there. But
That has to go through committee.
Those are great glasses.
yeah,
I just have to excuse myself. I had the wrong Galarraga. You would think, oh well.
oh, you were.
I was
were
thinking
you
the pitcher.
thinking about the perfect
Yeah.
game? Yeah, that's
Yep.
ridiculous. One,
Yeah.
the call was ridiculous, but you can't go back now and award him a perfect game.
Oh, it's heart wrenching.
It was.
Next season, during the off season, the rules committee is going to meet. We'll rule on the big. We're just going to rule on glasses. So if you pull a Chris Sabo, you get an extra cent for that.
Like the rec specs.
Yes, yeah. Any sort of sunglasses, anything like that. Next, we've got Kevin Alcaseitzer, third baseman for the Kansas City Royals. I think he went on to
smart.
become a hitting coach.
He did.
for
He always hit for a good average in his career.
Kevin Lee. Again, that card is not worth anything. I can tell you, though, that this next card will be, because they are in numerical order. This player played for a lot of teams: Dodgers, Indians, Braves, to name but a few. And for some reason, my wife has an autographed baseball. It is Brett Butler.
Oh man, nice.
And this
He's
card is,
shaven.
yeah, it's clean shaven. He is worth 2 cents, though. And it makes his home in Lilburn, Georgia, which is, my wife got his autograph when she was going to school at UGA, and I'm sure that's how she ran into him. But that'll be worth 2 cents for you. So you're chipping away. You're still waiting for that big card.
It's got to be in there. So
He just keeps fouling him off, but he's keying up.
All right, so this guy, we are. This is kind of Two Strike Noise after dark here, and I have a story about this guy that I heard from a player when I was with the Braves that I can't even tell on Two Strike Noise after dark.
Wow.
Oh my.
Good.
I am
Okay, my ears are open.
This guy was a beast, though, for the Los Angeles Dodgers during the 1980s. It is Pedro Guerrero.
Oh,
I remember this guy could just hit. No middle name, Pedro Guerrero.
Lots of power.
278. So that card is worth 2 cents plus the mustache. So that is a 3-cent card.
They're very consistent.
He is very consistent. Well, now, if you were to look in your Beckett's right now, if you had this open, you would know that Pedro Guerrero is card number 278. That would mean that the next card is card number 277.
Uh-oh.
Which, if you're me, you might have an inkling as to who this is. It is my favorite player of all time.
No.
Did he steal 130 bases one year?
He's still 130 bases. He's the all-time leader in stolen bases. The all-time leader, well, at least he was in walks and runs scored. It is Mr. Ricky Henley.
Get out.
Lee
To be with the
Patterson.
Yankees uniform too, like to add insult to injury, man.
But does he not just look fucking awesome? I mean, everyone looks good in a
the
Yankees
smile,
uniform.
he's got the smile, but the Yankees uniform, let's get his Red Sox days. And he does have a little bit of a dusting on that upper lip.
He's got that mustache, and he's holding Mike Pagliarulo's bat, if you notice, number 11.
So do you have his worth memorized at this point? You must know how much his card is.
I don't. And the only reason I know is because I looked before we started. I always look for the Ricky Henderson card.
Of course you do.
But this card is worth on its own 10 cents.
Oh, man.
He is a Hall of Famer, obviously, and he does have a mustache. So
You just doubled your worth.
16-cent card. Yeah, that just doubled your card to 32 cents, or doubled your value to 32 cents.
Honestly, there's something wrong in the world where Jose Canseco is worth more than Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, well, Jose was still a young guy, and this was right in the middle of Ricky kind of jaking it, is I believe the phrase that Dallas Green used in New York. Ricky had he tore his hamstring, but he still kept playing through it. But he just, especially with his game and a torn hamstring, you can't do a whole lot. And the Yankees refused to believe, and they did an MRI that was inconclusive, and they wouldn't give him another one. And
fucking Yankees.
Yeah, but
Well, they don't have the money to do it,
That's right. Next year, though, he was traded back home to the A's, led them to the World Series against the San Francisco Giants. So I love that card. Next, we've got a Red Sox.
Hey, that's maybe good news depending on which one it is.
Got a Red Sox here. The picture was taken during BP at the Angels. I can tell from the seats in the background. It is Marty Barrett.
Marty Grin and Barrett.
Marty Grin and Barrett. Nice.
Marty, well shaven, Barrett. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Marty is not worth anything. It is not. But this next card is it's going to be worth something. Boy, I can't get off of this 1988 stuff. Here, before he went on to be a World Series hero for the Los Angeles Dodgers, hitting a Game 1 improbable home run off of Dennis Eckersley in the first recorded walk-off, because that's when Dennis Eckersley coined the phrase.
Yep.
It is here the Detroit Tiger Kurt Gibson.
All right.
Now,
They recreated that moment, didn't they?
if they did, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, no, it was.
But this card is only worth 2 cents plus the 1 cent
good.
for the mustache. So
Thank
that
you,
is a
baby
3
Jesus.
cent card.
I would love to see Eckersley. I'm gonna look that up because I know they recreated that moment.
Like they recreated it, like he threw a pitch to him and let him hit it, or what?
Yeah, well, they had a first pitch together at something important,
Oh, got it. Okay.
but I'm spacing the whole thing.
Well, so Kurt Gibson works for the Tigers doing TV and radio. So maybe when they were in Boston or when the Red Sox were in Detroit, they might have done something like that. All right, so you've got 2 cards left here, Bubba.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good. Yeah, it's not looking good yet. Next, we've got this guy. We talked about him in the last round as somebody that had as many strikeouts as hits one year. It is outfielder for the Milwaukee Brewers, just looking awesome in this uniform, Rob Deere.
Yeah,
He came to play. Look at that.
He's hanging out with Joey Myers.
Yeah, but I had a picture of Rob Deere hanging in my room, I remember. And the only reason is because and it was in a Brewers uniform, is because he looks so good in it. I love that uniform.
It's a great uniform.
He's wearing it well.
Yeah, but that card is now. Rob sometimes had a mustache. I can't tell there. It's very. He's got blonde hair. I don't believe he's got, but he does have the stirrups though. So I will give you that. So you are at 36 cents with one card left. You need to pull out a miracle here.
Yeah, big numbers, no whammy.
And if I were to ask you to pin your hopes on one Mr. Larry Sheets, what would you say?
He's got the bird hat.
I'm pretty sure that's a 30-cent mustache.
Yeah. So yeah, the card is not worth anything in Beckett's. It is worth 1 cent for the mustache, but that is not enough. And that's the final out.
Holy cow!
That is the final out. Yes, congratulations,
right, victorious. And also, I'm happy to know that I do have a little bit of a memory that Eckersley threw the first pitch to him at Game 4 of the World Series in 2018.
Ah, very nice.
So he was willing to sort of suck it up and say, "Yeah, let's show the people what we can do."
But Potty Mouth, we just won the World Series. Move on from that.
Yeah. So now I should be just in full celebratory mode. Where's the champagne?
Well, we do have a trophy. We do have a trophy presentation coming up, but I
awesome.
think we should name
that's so
our
cool.
MVP. Should probably go
Jose Canseco. Holy
Jose
fuck.
Canseco. Yeah, that's.
My God. That's just
whack.
I gotta say, I'm happy to have at least seen Marty Barrett. Those was like some good memories there. But Jose Canseco.
That's really a whole thing.
Well, I mean, Jose was with the Red Sox, I believe, when he came in and pitched and tore his rotator cuff, wasn't
okay,
that
of course.
when he was with the Red Sox?
That would make complete sense.
Did we just determine that left is better than right for all time? Isn't that what Mark was saying we were doing here?
Absolutely.
All right,
and
so
remember that when you vote in November.
We don't want to look at that. We want to look at our tournament standings here. So
yeah, we do.
This is the path. This is the path that you took. You as we mentioned earlier, you took on Tournipair Chris. You beat him.
We crushed them.
You crushed Chris. Then you went through the Hanshin Tigers English News, where you won by a single cent.
Although we took an early lead and we hung on to that with our claws against the Tiger.
Your closer loaded the bases with 2 outs, but managed to do it. And then now comes the grand trophy presentation, the first annual really Wax Pack Hero Tournament of Awesome.
We look great in print, don't we, Patty?
We sure do. That is a thing of beauty.
The golden pickle, as it is, goes to the No Crying in Baseball podcast.
Heck yeah.
We can put that in our byline at all times.
Yes, no,
FABBWPHTOA.
I am going to send you a high quality copy of this trophy so that you can include it in all of your social media, your website,
so cool.
where you can put this. You're welcome to hold on to it until we will have to hand it off when the second annual tournament happens. But congratulations.
Thank you. I'm thinking, is it like the Stanley Cup? Like we get to take it around with us for a day? And...
Sure. You can. Well, actually, you can take it as long as you want until the next tournament. There's 2 of you, so you can, and you live in the same area, so really you can go to town with this.
But how are we going to drink beer out of that? It doesn't look very conducive.
Well, that was not really thought out when You know what you can do? You can't see it, but on the far end of the pickle, it's a sharp edge that you can use to open beers with.
There you go.
So
And you guys, if you want the podcast name chiseled on there, I have a really, really small screwdriver and a hammer. I could try.
All right. Yep. Yes, please. That is outstanding. I would be so proud to have that.
Well, congratulations. It was.
Who are we going to thank? We want to thank the Academy. We want to thank who else? All the little people who brought us to this place.
We want to thank Bubba. We want to thank Trevor. We want to thank Chris.
We want to thank Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco.
And now
Jeff and Mark,
I am
more
now
than anybody.
obligated to tweet this to him as well. I did say that.
He's probably going to come back and say, "Hey, I'll congratulate you on the air for $35."
For Pete. That's right.
Well,
That's
I believe he's on Cameo, and I believe
Yes,
it's probably like $50 or something to get a Jose Canseco.
Worth every penny.
I'm sure.
All right, so there you go. So before we wrap up this first annual Bump Bailey Wax Pack Hero Tournament of Awesome, I couldn't have said that worse. Let's give everybody a chance to, if they want to hear more from anybody here. Bubba, do you want to tell everybody where they can find ball caps and bagpipes?
You sure can. I'm just wiping away the tears. I'm crushed. They're lost. I feel like I got juiced out of this one. But find us. We're a Scottish baseball podcast, and you can find us on all the social media channels at Caps and Pipes or Ball Caps and Bagpipes. And yeah, so if you ever want to know about local Scottish baseball and just kind of see how guys get involved, please check us out.
And you also run a great online store where you sell vintage baseball shirts and jerseys and stuff like that, which is also awesome. If you want to,
so the shop is Dugout Classics, and I kind of specialize in the kind of the junk era of jerseys, I guess you could say. I like to find the guys from the '90s and the early 2000s, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun to get that thing going.
Just make sure, as we always do, tell Yankee fans that Yankee jerseys have never had the player's name on the back of them.
That's come up before because somebody had said that, and I said, well, it's not authentic, but the fans are going to want that. So you got to do what the fans want. Yeah.
All right, Patty and Potty Mouth, do you want to tell people where they can hear and see more of you?
Sure. Talk to us on Twitter at NCIB Podcast. Facebook and Instagram is No Crying in B-Ball. And you can get our podcast pretty much anywhere. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it. You can email us at ncibpodcast@gmail.com. And we are honored. I just want to officially say that this is an ultimate honor. This is a true World Series because we went, first with the national competition with Chris. Then we went to Japan. So we've won over the Asian competition. Now we're in Europe. I mean, this definitely is authentically a World Series.
You have spanned the
championship.
Globe. Spanned the globe and crushed them all beneath your heels. So a couple of other shout outs before we wrap this up. I want to thank everybody else that joined us. So that is the Turn a Pair Baseball podcast. I also want to thank the High and Inside podcast, the Baseball Beyond Batting Average podcast. Infield Fly Girl was a lot of fun, and I look forward to I already follow her on Twitter and talk with her there, but hopefully seeing and hearing more of her. Of course, the Caps and Pipes. But I lost my train of thought here. The Ball Caps and Bagpipes podcast, the Friars on the Farm, who I really enjoyed, and we're hoping to talk with them some more. And of course, Trevor from the Hanshin Tiger English News. I want to thank everybody. I have had such a good time getting to open baseball cards on our regular podcast, but to get to do it with other people as well was a lot of fun. Mark, do you want to tell everybody where they can find more of us?
Not really. Oh, yeah. Okay, I will.
Sure you do.
You can find us on pretty much any format. Just type in Two Strike Noise, TWO, spell it out, Two Strike Noise. It's do a Google search and pick your poison where you want to listen to us. If you want to contact us on social media, same thing, Two Strike Noise, hashtag. You want to send an email, twostrikenoise@gmail.com.
And so that'll do it. This is, we're going to wrap it up for the first annual Bump Bailey Wax Pack Hero Tournament of Awesome. We want to thank everybody that's watched these, as well as everybody that has participated. We will see you whenever we do the second annual, because then the annual will actually make sense. But until then, thank you all very much, and goodbye.
Congrats, champs.
Stars in his eyes. Who expects